man, cause he done ran off. Saquon against the Rams, dog. I do this for my grams, dog. Protecting my fam, dog. Keep 100 grand, dog. It's part of the plan, dog. Whopping these language, that's why I do not understand, y'all. If I don't lose no toes, I promise I'ma always stand tall. Do not understand, y'all. If I don't lose no toes, I promise I'ma always stand tall. Vibes.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Real Vibes and the Uppercut Pod, man. We're back, man. We gotta talk about what just happened this past Saturday. Of course, Scoop is gonna be missed today. As you can see, he's not here. He's a little busy, but the show must go on, man.
I don't see Bud winning by a knockout. I don't think it's possible to knock Canelo out. Truthfully, then it's crazy that like we actually saying it like a man can't be knocked out. I feel like everyone can be hurt, but I just don't think Canelo is one of them guys that we will ever see KO for his whole career.
Too big of a moment to not speak on, so gotta make sure I bring y'all that content, man. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, gonna continue to push out these videos for y'all. We're posting on Instagram, TikTok, X as well. Just making sure all content is out there, man. But just to get right into it, man, we can't like not talk about one of the greatest wins of all time in boxing history. What Terence Crawford did to Canelo Alvarez to not only, move up 2 to 3 weight classes, depending on how you look at it, to beat the cash cow in boxing, the guy, the biggest name, one of the elite fighters of the generation, somebody who's looked at as a legend of the sport in Canelo Alvarez, and for what TC did, not only to win the fight, but pretty much dominate the fight. Just to get into it, I had the scorecards personally 10-2, maybe 9-3. I think it was like two of those rounds were swing rounds, but it was never a round where Canelo just clearly won. I think TC, you know, pretty much controlled Canelo throughout the fight, kept the jab in his face, and pretty much kept Canelo at bay. I think another reason what makes this win so spectacular is, obviously I already know we're gonna have revisionist history, but Bud was the underdog coming into this fight. Like, we're not about to, change the narrative now. Oh, Canelo's always been slow footed. Canelo's never had craziest IQ. Canelo never had no. The what everyone was saying coming into this fight, Canelo's the bigger, stronger guy. Bud's too little. Bud won't be able to stand in the ring with him. Bud won't be able to stand in the middle and bang. Bud can't take his shots, and eventually he'll go down. You know, I want people to remember that Bud was the underdog coming into this fight, and a lot of people are going against him. You know, and I know in the last episode, if you haven't seen it, I described the same thing. Bud, I believe, is a more skilled fighter. I think he has more tools in his arsenal. He has more ways to win than a Canelo, and I knew that would be on full display. But I end up switching my answer to Canelo the final day or the last like 2 days before, because it's hard not to realize what the cash cow means in boxing. Canelo has had some very, very questionable scorecards throughout his careers, whether they're in wins, against like fights like Austin Trout, Eras Larry Lara, Triple G2, even Triple G1, even though that was a draw, but like, you know what I mean? Those are some wins where, it's like, okay, even in his losses, in the Floyd fight, if anyone, remembers that 10, 12 years ago, one of the judges think had like a tie or like Canelo winning when Floyd basically schooled the young dude. So, and against Bivol, I'm pretty sure 3 or 2 judges had a 7-5 and we know what happened to Canelo that night. Bivol just essentially dominated him just like Floyd did, and basically what Bud just did, it's similar fighters who's gonna give Canelo troubles, guys with high IQ, guys who can move really well, and keep that jab in his face. You know, Bud was always the bad matchup for Canelo. But my logic between picking Canelo, I was like, man, they might rob Bud, man. If Bud don't dominate this man, if Bud don't win 10 rounds, if Bud don't, you know, show the crowd something that they never seen done to Canelo, man, I think it's going to be tough for him to pull it out. And as we see, you know, the robbery almost came truth,
By unanimous decision, the Fighting Pride of Omaha, Nebraska, USA, and
the scorecards were final at 116, 112 for one judge, and two of the other judges had a 115 to 113. That means two of the judges had a 7 rounds to 5, meaning Canelo only lost one extra round. And, that's just a crazy scorecard. I don't think the biggest Canelo fans can say with a straight face Canelo won 5 rounds of this fight. And I think it was definitely more 9-3, maybe 8-4, but yeah, I had it more so 9-3, man. I think that what this did for Bud's legacy, I guess we'll get into that as well. I think this makes him a legitimate GOAT, like he's in the GOAT discussion because of this.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
Like, it's not too many wins that I think are more powerful than this win right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this, I think, is also very big for Bud because going leading up to the Spence fight, Bud don't fight nobody. He dominates Spence. Oh, he hasn't fought nobody. Madrimov is a big guy. He can move well. He's strong. Beats Madrimov. Oh, man. Nothing Bud did before this can shows me that he can beat Canelo. Bud hasn't fought nobody. Spence was old. Madrimov was mid. He wasn't crazy. Dominates Canelo. We keep moving the bar for Bud, but he just keeps on stepping over in it.
When I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him over here on your left?
When he signed the contract.
I think a lot of, the Bud slander with that, we got to remember, Bud, nobody wanted to fight Bud. Like, I think that's the thing that we forget. The biggest names didn't want to take that risk. Bud wasn't a cash cow, so, you take that fight with him, you're not going to make that much money, or it's not like the biggest fight in the sport. And it's a chance that this guy might knock me out. Bud was TKOing guys. As we know, he was going like a 11 straight knockout streak before the Madrimov fight. So, Bud is a finisher, so skilled, so profound, long arms. He has a lot of tools that makes a lot of the best people during the, 2010s and the early 2020s not want to fight him. He was avoided, to be fair. And, the quote unquote lack of resume is why that is. I think that, for fighters in that situation, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Just keep dominating whoever they put up in front of him until you got that big opportunity against Spence. And he made the most of that, man. As we know, we know that Spence win, man, we don't even look at Spence the same no more after what he did to Spence. So I just think that, Terence Crawford, congratulations. You are now, in my opinion, the GOAT of this generation. I think your name should be amongst the elite of the elite of the elite of the GOATs. Easily first ballot Hall of Famer. I would put this guy against any 147 pounder, 154 pounder. As you can see, maybe even 168 pounder, being one of the best super middleweights of all time in Canelo Alvarez. So, I just wanted to make this video to show my love and support for Bud, man. He did it, against all odds. It was a pro-Mexican crowd, Mexican Independence Month. Canelo usually brings a judge or two with him to the fight, and he still was able to get the job done. Having a great time in there too, as we could see who watched the fight. Man, he was smiling. He was playing with Canelo after a certain point. Man, he knew he had him figured out. He knew Canelo couldn't do essentially nothing with him, man.
He deserves all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something?
So, man, shout out to Bud. That was an amazing thing that Netflix did, making it available to everyone to see. I'm glad everyone saw this moment. Everyone's talking about this moment. A lot of new boxing fans came, because of this moment in history. And, Terence Crawford with this win would never be forgotten. So, all in all, man, I just want to say congrats to TC. Canelo, you're still a legend. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see what you do next for your career. He's still gonna be the money man. Like Canelo's never gonna be out of it, man. A possible rematch, has been in the talks. That would be great to see. You know what I'm saying? If Bud beats Canelo twice, then there's nothing we can really say about Bud's career or legacy. I don't think Bud will move back down to 154. I think if he does fight again, it would be 160 or 168. And I think he's looking for those mega fights, man. He continue to make that money. He made his highest amount of money this past fight. He's now one of the cash cows. Like, if he does another fight, I know he's making, upwards 30, 40, 50, 60 mil. Like, Bud's about to get that bag, man. So, all in all, hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. Make sure I like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're bringing more boxing content every day. Check out all our social media platforms. We're going to keep pushing this content for you, man. Like I say in every video, I love making this content for y'all. I love talking boxing, man. And give me some feedback in the comments. Let us know what you think we should talk about next when I have my partner in crime here in Scoop.
He gonna box your ears off. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So for that, I gotta go Bud, man.
Let us know what you think we should talk about next. Let us know what you think this does for Bud's legacy. Like, I want to know where people have him ranked now, because, hey, man, it's gonna have to be some serious talks after a win like that. But I'm heading out of here. It's your boy Real Vibes. Yes, sir.
He's Terence Thornton. I'm Terence Crawford. Yeah, I'm whooping feet.